my goodness. Have you ever thought that there would be a harder day's work than what Celtic achieved today? It's been unbelievable. The scenes have been absolutely tremendous. Anything you can do, they can do better, is the word from Russell Martin, or whatever his name is, over at Ibrox. They decided to draw 1-1 today, and Celtic toiled. And I did say that it would be a hard game, but Celtic did get it over the line with Daisen Maeda getting the screen's just changed. Wait a minute. Get rid of that now, and we'll get the screen back up. Not having any more about our players laying down and giving up the ghosts. That was hard effort, proud of the team. Yes, it was. This was the performance that we've all been looking for. This was the performance and the dig that we knew that this team and Brendan Rodgers had in them. And it was where they find it today. Today of all days is where we needed to dig deep, and they did it. And fair play to the players. They stood up when it was mattered. It took us to go. Absolutely, Jim, you need to see the video that I've just put up on the shorts. I have just put a shorts up of them chasing after the bus. Yes, they're chasing after the bus. Let's get this video up first of all. There is a shorts video of them chasing the bus. Let me see if I can get it on. No, first of all, we need to... I need to do this. We need to have a laugh tonight, because that was a hard game to watch. The first half was a toil. The second half, you're thinking, can we get there? And we did eventually get there. And I'm just trying to find the screen. Will this come through the screen, or will I need to... Don't know if this will come through or not. Is it coming through? No, it's not. Wait a minute. I need to do this.
Behind Celtic and 11 points behind league leaders Hearts in the race for the title. I mean, if anyone thought that there was a race for the title, you'd be living in dreamland. But surely now, this is the moment where Russell Martin is sacked. We're at the international break now. We have a period where he can go. He should have been sacked after the Bruges game. He should have been sacked after the Bruges game. And maybe we could have salvaged something from the season. Celtic aren't.
No, never mind. Who cares about them? Who cares about Russell Martin getting sacked? It's all about what Celtic managed to achieve today, and Celtic were absolutely phenomenal. Well, were they phenomenal? I mean, Brendan Rodgers made all the changes. He threw everything at it to make sure. And you see our number 17 here on the pitch when the final goal does go in, and Celtic managed to get it over the line and win. And it was a little bit icing on the cake today when we found out that they were drawing 0-0. Yes, the 0-0 draw, the 0-0 specialist. Let me just get some of the comments up. We missed the ice and press on the left. Yeah, we do that. Once again, our performance today was... we got there, comedy gold again for that lot. Yeah, it was that. He wasn't on the bus and got smuggled out in a motor. That's even worse. He gets smuggled out on the motor. Scott, yes, I'm enjoying my evening. Coping well after that game. Cheered us up. Yeah, it did. Because let's face it, I think what we were all feeling before the game. Let's be honest. Let's just get rid of that screen just now. Because when we seen the team and we seen that Schmeichel was starting, seemingly Russell Martin has been sacked. Let's do a little bit of digging. Hopefully not. Pray for Russell. Pray for Russell Martin. Rangers manager. Let's do a search. There'll be lots of... see, the only thing about going out today is there'll be lots of people who have got meltdown stuff up. The latest on the Rangers manager. 4 minutes ago, Rangers Football Club today can confirm the devastating news that Russell Martin remains as first team manager. It seems that he's still the manager. That's quality. It is quality. But anyway, never mind them, because it is all about Celtic this evening, and it's about the way that we played. It's about the way that we got it over the line, where we thought, would we get it over the line? And the anticipation before the game, when a lot of people were thinking, do you know what? It was going to be a hard game, and it was. Oh, there's right. We are honking. If Motherwell had given us that second goal, I think we'd have got beat. Do you think the thing is when you were watching Celtic TV, I'm going to give Peter Grant his due. Peter Grant said, look, they're trying to play out for the back. If we can just press on them, he said it in the first half, he said, look, they've got a mistake in them. We get to them at the second half, they'll try and play out from the back. And Peter Grant called it on Celtic TV. He said that they would make a little mistake, and Celtic needed to capitalise on it, and they did. So fair play to Peter Grant saying that that they would make the mistake. But I think we have to look at a certain winger who came on and supplied the goal for Dyson Maeda, because he's been getting a bit of stick saying that he's not really a great winger. And it has taken his time to get in. Doing the rounds by us, glad it's true then. Free Palestine, free Russell Martin. That's a cracker. The second goal changed it and gave us the second wind. Usually, it used to be the case with Celtic, Port Shop Express. It used to be the case with Celtic that we would go 1-0 down, and then we would find our mojo. And I'm going to say, we still haven't found our mojo. We dug deep today. We got the win. We got it over the line. But we're still not found our mojo. We're still not playing at our best. Dyson Maeda still looks as if he's a player that is not 100% convinced or interested. I mean, he scored that goal and he celebrated. But when someone scored the goal before him, he'd give them a little tap on the back. I'm not going to take anything away from Dyson today, because I think that as a player, he has been through a lot over the last couple of months. And it was interesting, when I was at the game today, I was talking to an ex-Celtic youth coach. His name will stay off social media. He was at Celtic for 15 years and left in 2000. So speaking to him during the game and talking about what actually is going on in the background of Celtic, and he was of the opinion that fans don't realise how lucky they've been over the last so many years. It was an interesting conversation, but that's all I'm going to say about it. When you look at it and you look at the reaction of the bench coming up to the end of the game, it's just one of those days that could and should obviously change Celtic going forward. We now head into the international break. We go into the international break. Big Rab says we are crap. If we can't get to the January window with 2 points, it'll be a get a jail. We need reinforcements. I'm looking at 6 players plus. Yeah, that's true. We are looking to bring in at least 6 players, because you're going to have at least 3 players that will leave in the next window. And to make us better, you're going to have to bring in 6 players. But let's just not take away from what the players managed to achieve today. Any other game, and you would have thought that Celtic would drop points, guaranteed. Wondrous header. I'm glad we kick on. Maeda won't change. Let's think about how tomorrow's meeting, we'll deal with that tomorrow. Let's deal with the here and now. We can't defend. Yeah, we can't defend. Maeda played well on the left, crap on the right, and then got moves. Poor guy doesn't know where he's playing, and that's all down to Brendan Rodgers and the backroom staff. Without him, we wouldn't have won. Yeah, very true, Baz. Remember how much the '98 season meant. Yeah, I mean, when we won the league in 1998, It meant more to us than anything. And I think that getting to the end of this season, do you know, and even in 1998, we never played great football for some of it. You know, it was we kind of toiled to get it over the line. If you think back to 1998 and we went away to Dunfermline away, and you're thinking, it's a banker, we're going to win the league in Dunfermline. And we didn't. We drew in Dunfermline. And Dunfermline gave us the majority of the ground that day. Dunfermline had a little bit of the main stand and had half behind their own goals. Celtic had 3/4 of the stadium. Yeah, I know the backdrop needs sorted. We'll get that sorted in good time. Mrs. Maida will get her Nat King, that's for sure tonight. But it says Proud Warrior. Liam Miles says we were utter bish, can't be arsed slagging off the hands. We are shocking. We are a team. It has to be said. We are much a team in progress, and we shouldn't be. We shouldn't be a team in progress. I think that there's. Is there any positives to take from the day today? When you look at the bench, and when you look at the players that we started with, I mean, there was a couple of times in the first half that I thought Dice Maida went down a bit easy. Luke McCown was irrelevant in the game, I thought. He never had the game that I thought he would. Now, there's an interesting comment. Some fans need to chill it. The conversation that we had at the pub at the end of the game was with a couple of older gentlemen that were talking about entitlement of the Celtic fan base. If we lose a game, and these guys lived the 1980s, they lived the 1990s and into they watched the Rangers, the old Rangers win 9 in a row, and it was very much still alive in their memory. And they were of the opinion, and it is nice when you meet complete strangers as Celtic fans to get. And this was a couple of guys that were actually at the game, at the European game, and then we're now on holiday, and just getting different opinions from fans, ones that have no affiliation to any of the groups that are in the collective, the fans collective. Individual fans that go to games, individual fans that have been going to games for a very, very long time, it has to be said. But their comments to me tonight was, what do you think of the fan meeting tomorrow night? And he replied with, it's a very open question. And I said, well, it is. I said, there's various ways that you can look at it. Now, the first gentleman said, look, we're becoming a bit like them. We're becoming a bit like a team that is entitled and that thinks that it should win everything. And our fan base has turned into them. Except our fan base today, the first half, you could hear a pin drop at Celtic Park. You could hear a pin drop. And that, when you listen to fans that have been going to Celtic for 40, 50, 60 years, and you listen to what they think of certain sections of the fan base, thinking that they're entitled, think that they're over-important, and then speaking to someone who actually worked for Celtic for 15 years, and he was saying that, look, fans need to remember their place. They're just customers. You'll always be a number. Nothing's ever changed at Celtic. So it was interesting to get the opinions of the older generation tonight, and especially someone who will remain anonymous because he was at Celtic for a good while. Anyway, let's get back into some of the comments tonight. Liam says, it's the first game when we are drawn. I saw some fight in the Celtic team to get a goal and to win it. It's not sack the board, it's sack the ground staff. They are hopeless. Yeah. We will never turn it into them, says Paul Baird. I think, Paul, I will disagree with you on that one, because even in all my years of following Celtic and going to games, the stadium was never as quiet as this. Do you know, the current stadium is I mean, we're sitting in a pub, and this was a Celtic pub that had around about 15 folk in it. and just a small pub, tiny little thing, just one barman walking behind the bar himself, tiny small little pub and a place in southern Spain, and the Irish guy, and do you know, you're listening to the telly, and there was points when the Green Brigade weren't singing. Do you know, it wasn't a good sound. Is that entitlement? Is that the fans thinking we should be winning better? Every team goes through bad spells, and I think that it's better if this is a bad spell for Celtic, and we're still winning. And when you look at the SPAFL table tonight, we're only a couple of points behind the team that's at the top of the table, and that's a good thing, because it keeps us in touch with them. It does keep us in touch with them. I mean, we are only 2 points behind them. Drawing that game last week has been devastating. Getting the points today was a must. I thought that Motherwell played a good game. You can understand why they've not lost a lot of games this season. I think that this was was this the second game that they have first game they have lost, or second game? I know that they had won 4, they'd drawn 4 and won 1 before that. I'm not sure about before that. They've only lost 1 game all season, so that tells you a lot. When you look at the fact that Aberdeen managed to get some points today, but fair play to them, and Rangers are still 8th in the league, that's a good thing. Because if the result had went the other way and they had won and we had dropped points, you know, it could have been the case that they got a lot closer to us. But it's not to be. So, one thing I want to talk about is Kieran Tierney. We was a massive pass when he grown up. Let me just see, jump something else. Was looking at the table 40 today. What a mess. Ibrox were down within 4 of us at one stage. Yes, exactly. They were within 4. Within 4. We have a massive fan base. Growing up. Never seen us lose more than 1 league. Some of us with some great players won nothing. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Tommy Burns football. I think that the Tommy Burns team would wipe the floor with this Celtic team, this current Celtic team. Wipe the floor with it. But they never won nothing. They never won nothing at all. Big Des says great team support comes through all together as one, and the Palestine thing has caused division, which is interesting, Big Des, because I stay in a country where the country is quite united in support for Palestine, and there's demonstrations on a weekly basis in support of Palestine. So it just goes to show that you know, maybe it's the UK that is the issue. Because every day here in the country that I currently stay in, they have demonstrations against Israel on a consistent basis, and the media cover it. You know, it's not a bad thing. You don't have police. Anyway, enough about that. My arse was knitting buttons most of the game, says Stuart. I think mine's was as well. To be fair, we need to stop feeding the media these driven crisis, and I don't think that it's Celtic fans that have been driving this crisis, is it? I mean, it's the way that we've been playing. Let's be honest, it is the way that we've been playing, and we've been rank rotten. We don't have a right to win just because we're Celtic. This is very true. Stephen Johnson, I hope you're okay tonight. There's a lot of people asking for you in the comments. Or Pash. I'm just reading something. As the fans are quiet because they don't really think they'll score. There's a very big difference. Lack of goals so far this season. Sad but true. 2 points behind, and yeah, let's look at the positives. Let's finish the lives tonight on a fantastic positive. We're only 2 points behind the league leaders as it stands. And it's got to be said that that's a fantastic thing, because we've not been playing well this season at all. To still be up and around there with Hearts sitting at the top of the table going into the international break, it now becomes a case of Celtic win their next 2 games, and then the time that they get to Hearts, they win against Hearts, and that's it. We go back top of the league, and then natural order, as they say, and natural order has resumed. And I think that that's what we need to finish the video on tonight. Make sure that you check out the video, the shorts video that went up earlier on with the Rangers fans chasing the bus down the road. A few weeks ago they were chasing boats and stop the boats protest. Now they're stopping the bus. Anyway, on that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans. All around the world. What a fucking day. Oh my God.